мать его, институт. А мы его так долго искали. И никого нет. Ручка. Что можно спереть? Я не разговариваю с голосами в своей голове. Ой, отстань от меня, мужик. Да, конечно. Еще надо было весь хлам вытащить перед всем этим. Угу. Ну, вообще не смахивает на ловушку, мужик. О чем вы? А если я нажму на кнопку? Жаль. Говорила мне мама, не нажимай на красные кнопки. Еще ниже? Ну что вы конченые ублюдки. Да ладно. У вас столько хорошо говорят. Говорят, вы младенцев похищаете. Я вас всех убью. Потом я убью братство. Потом я убью подземку. Только минитменов оставлю. Они настолько жалкие, что их даже убивать не надо. И сами сдохнут. Бесполезные ублюдки. Ну да, похищать людей это нормально, в принципе. Еще один лифт. Нормально. Главное, что мы идем сами, с удовольствием. У нас набор ядерного оружия. Вот там. Всякого говна. А мы идем. Да ладно. Сыночек. Сынка. Сынуля. Выходи. Не оставайся с ними. Тебе нужно воспитание.
Sean?
Yes, I'm Sean.
Погоди, дай мамуля переоденется. Суки.
Sean? Oh my god.
Я плакать не буду.
It's really you.
Who are you?
Я твоя мама.
It's me. I'm your mom.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Sean, Daddy's gone, but I'm here. Mommy's here now.
What's going on? Father? Father!
Shh. It'll be okay, Sean. Mommy's here now.
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here. Help me!
Успокойся, сыночек.
Calm down. I'll get you out of there.
Father? Father, help me! She's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Это ты, да?
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize
Что ты сделал с ним?
and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew.
Слушайте, я 100 часов играл, чтобы узнать, что вы сделали из нее синта?
Welcome to the Institute.
Father. That's your name? Your title?
Father is my unofficial title. It's what I've come to mean to the people of the Institute. Just
Чё ты светишься? Ты чё, ангел?
as you are a parent to your son, to Sean.
Сынок
I'll
там
make this
где?
very simple.
Это какой-то не
Where
очень.
is my son?
He's here, in the Institute. Closer
То
than
все-таки
you
они
think.
просто синты
But I
выросли.
need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you after all this time. It's me. I am Sean. I am
Да, вы
your son.
издеваетесь.
It's really you. After all this time.
Yes. It's
Хуй
true.
ты меня не освободил.
In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality. And here I am, raised by the Institute, and now it's lethal.
But why? Why take a child? Why take you?
Ah, now that's the question, isn't it? Why me? At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never
Они
enough.
хотели делать людей.
Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
Human sense? Really?
Human-like synths. A great distinction. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, we...
А чё ж тогда синты сбегают?
And you've been down here the whole time?
I have. Yes.
Сука, ты 60 лет здесь провел. Твоя мама сидела в криогенной камере. Да, я заберу у тебя пинцет. Аппликатор. Гаечный ключ. Отоскоп. Вообще-то не заберу у тебя.
No
Жаль.
way to pick this.
Ну и чё?
What's going on here?
Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
Give me Sean.
Почему диалог прекратился?
Right now.
I know. I know. You've gone to such lengths to find him.
О, мне так забавно.
Answers, asshole. Now.
Under the circumstances, I will forgive your vulgarity, but I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far and suffered a great deal to... It's good to finally... I am.
И все.
How is that even?
I know this in the vault, but then you learn that you... Is it really so hard to accept?
Какого хрена ты со мной не пришел?
It wasn't.
To you, that would certainly seem true. At that time, the year 22, scientific, so they...
Это я понял.
So the weird science experiments needed
In a manner of speaking, the Institute endeavored to create synthetic. Plenty of that, even in their attempts to shield. But then the Institute found me. I was exactly what... I am their father.
Sean. It's really you.
It really is. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Какого хрена он-то не состоялся?
He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leash kept the collateral damage to a minimum. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Ты уж никак не успокоишь.
Your
Во.
father. He never got to see you grow up.
Yes. What happened to him was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems what happened to him was an unfortunate bit of collateral. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So, you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
But, director? Why you?
I was the most qualified for the position. I've lived my life within these walls, dedicated to science like every other member of the Institute. My hard work has paid off. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss. But the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs.
Использовать Келлога теперь меня, да? Это ублюдок, сынок.
I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
You want me to stay here, in the Institute?
Yes, that is what I propose. Is it so hard to imagine? The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are
Ну чё ж
better
от
off
тебя
with
тут
us.
доктор убежал?
How can you say that? How
Син-то
can you
тебя
be so
бегают.
dismissive of all those people? Everything they've done.
Because it is the simple truth. And I believe you know it too. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling you. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
Я не уверен
Are
в
you
этом.
sure you want this?
Yes, I am. It would benefit us both to work together.
Ну пойдем, ублюдок.
All right.
Thank you. The Institute is now your home, as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know
Да
it.
я вас всех убью потом.
Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in facilities, Dr. Ayo in SRB, Dr. Holdren in bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in advanced systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss
Ну
what
они будут
comes next.
фанатичны, научными, ученые. Интереса революции. В интересах революции. Надо нажраться, пацаны. Институт, мать его. В интересах